Volleyball, a sport that pulses with energy and strategy, holds the attention of millions around the globe. It's a stronghold in Brazil where a wave of national teams have emerged as powerhouses over the past 30 years. But what truly sets a volleyball player apart? Well, it turns out it's not just about physical prowess. There are unique psychological skills that these athletes need to master. It's not just about scoring points, it's about handling the pressure, maintaining focus, and importantly, dealing with the frustration of making a mistake. Oh, and did I mention that in volleyball, one's error doesn't just mean losing possession of the ball, it gifts a point to the opponent. It's a mind game, as much as it is a physical one. But there's a twist to this, a secret weapon that these athletes use to stay at the top of their game. Want to know what it is? Well, you'll have to wait and see. Hey there, curiosity explorers. Ready for another dive into the unknown? I'm Cesar, your guide on this journey, and alongside me is the ever-insightful Sonia.
Hi, everyone. Can't wait to delve into today's subject with all of you.
And we're excited to have you here with us, Sonia. Remember, folks, if you're enjoying these curiosity explorations as much as we are, make sure you subscribe to the Curiosity Wonderland, leave a comment, and share with friends. Your interaction is what keeps this podcast alive and kicking. So, shall we dive in? So, let's talk about the unique psychological skills of volleyball players. Unlike many other sports, every rally in volleyball ends with a point scored. That means every error isn't just a lost opportunity, it's a point for the opposition. This constant pressure can lead to high levels of frustration.
That sounds incredibly intense. So, how do they manage that pressure?
Good question. Volleyball players need to develop a high tolerance for frustration. It's crucial to avoid what's called psychological rumination. That's dwelling on past mistakes and blaming oneself.
So it's all about moving on quickly from an error and focusing on the next play?
Exactly. The ability to maintain focus is paramount in volleyball. It's a highly tactical sport with a high demand for motor precision. It's vital to avoid any lapse in attention on the court.
What about anticipation? I would imagine being able to predict the other team's moves would be a valuable skill.
Absolutely, the ability to anticipate plays is critical. It allows players to make appropriate actions for attacking or defending situations. Remember, in volleyball, one mistake can cost a point. So staying focused and anticipating the game flow is key.
Wow, I had no idea so much psychology went into the game.
It's a fascinating blend of physical and mental agility. And we haven't even touched on the role of the coach yet. Now let's delve into what gives volleyball players a psychological advantage. Volleyball training is essentially a reproduction of what happens in a match. It's as close as you can get to the real competition.
That sounds like it could be really helpful for adapting to the pressures of an actual game.
Absolutely. The more similar the training environment is to the competitive environment, the better the emotional and cognitive adaptation of the athletes. It also helps players understand different tactical scenarios and possible game variations.
So even when practicing, they're constantly in a game-like mindset?
Exactly. And interestingly, volleyball allows for natural breaks in attention. It's impossible for any individual, no matter how trained, to remain hyper-focused for long periods. There are key moments for players to relax and regain their energy.
Oh, like when they're substituted out?
Right. Or during the small intervals between points or while waiting to serve or receive the ball. These breaks can be used in a smart, sustainable way to optimize performance. And when they're not in the midst of a rally, players can engage in positive self-talk, which is vital for maintaining confidence and motivation, even when their performance may not be up to par.
That's a great point. So it's not just about physical endurance, but mental endurance as well.
Precisely. Volleyball isn't just a physical game, it's a mental chess match as well. And mastering this aspect can give players a significant edge. Breathing and visualization techniques can also aid in regaining attention and improving performance. Speaking of positions, every player in a volleyball team is crucial tactically. but the role of the setter is particularly vital.
Is that because they're involved in every play?
Exactly. The setter is often considered the brain of the team. They dictate the rhythm, choose the best move based on their perception. Hence, a setter needs to have great self-confidence to instill confidence in his team. Good communication skills, motivation, and rapport with teammates are also essential.
That makes a lot of sense. And what about the coach? Are they just as important in volleyball as in other sports?
A coach is a vital leadership figure in any sport, and volleyball is no exception. But there are specific skills a volleyball coach should have. Effective communication is top of the list. Being able to convey instructions, change tactics, or maintain a team's morale clearly and succinctly is crucial.
So it's not just about what they say, but how they say it?
Spot on. Also, the ability to listen is very important. A volleyball team usually includes key personnel like assistants and statisticians. In the heat of competition, a coach might not catch all the nuances of the game, so they need to be attuned to the inputs from their team.
So it's a blend of leadership, observation, and communication. Quite a complex role.
Indeed, and that's precisely what makes volleyball such a fascinating sport to discuss. Assistants can play an essential role in providing specific information about athletes on their own team or opponents, suggesting changes in positioning or strategies. Being open to and valuing this input can be crucial for a coach's effectiveness in leading a team. Another key skill is people management.
Wait, let me guess. Managing a diverse group of athletes, each with their own unique personalities and roles within a team, must be quite a daunting task.
It is indeed possibly one of the most challenging aspects of coaching volleyball. Since it is an extremely collective sport, group management skills are crucial for maintaining a positive work environment and motivating athletes, especially those who don't get much game time but continue to perform in training.
I could see how that could be challenging. The coach has to keep everyone motivated, not just the star players.
That's right. Individual feedback is significant to maintain motivation, enhance game tactics, and foster team cohesion. Another important aspect is that a good coach should understand the individual athletes on a personal level.
So it's about more than just the game. It's about understanding the human beings behind the athletes.
The responsibility of being at the helm of a group of athletes and technical staff is undoubtedly immense. It's not uncommon for coaches to struggle with managing their own emotions, given the myriad tasks they have to undertake. This often ends up in the background, especially for coaches working with younger categories, where they often take on roles that go beyond their main duties.
So it's not just about the physical stress of the game, but also the mental and emotional toll it can take on them.
Absolutely. Research shows that sports coaches often suffer from high levels of stress, pressure, and anxiety due to their work routines and dysfunctional behaviors. Many struggle to relax and disconnect after competitions. Some are overloaded with work, being responsible for more than one category of athletes. To manage their own emotions, it's important to have self-care strategies, self-knowledge, and psychological support within their team.
I can see how that can be vital. Mental health is just as important as physical health in sports.
Indeed. And what's alarming is the prevalence of severe emotional disorders among coaches, such as depression, panic attacks, or burnout. These can negatively impact their personal lives. Hence, the role of sports psychology professionals is not only to support but also to ally with coaches and athletes in developing their mental health and high performance in sports. Well, in summary, the psychology of volleyball plays an incredibly significant role, from the individual athlete's ability to handle frustration and maintain high levels of attention, to the crucial role of the setter, the brain of the team. Not to forget the immense responsibilities of the coach, not just tactically, but in managing the mental well-being of their team and themselves. It's a sport that demands not just physical agility, but psychological resilience and strategic thinking.
Volleyball, it seems, is a lot more than just hitting a ball over a net. The mental game is just as, if not more, important than the physical one. So, to all the aspiring volleyball players out there, remember to work on your mind as much as your body.
Absolutely. And with that, we've reached the end of this episode. It's been an enlightening dive into the world of volleyball and its psychological intricacies.
Indeed, it has been. We hope you enjoyed this journey with us. Remember, if you liked this episode, don't forget to blast that like button, leave a comment, and share with your friends. Every interaction helps us keep bringing you fascinating explorations into everyday mysteries.
We'll be back with more puzzling topics to unravel. Until then, stay curious.
Thank you for joining us, and remember to keep questioning. Goodbye, and see you next time on Curiosity Wonderland.
Our fascinating deep dive into volleyball psychology came from an article titled Psicologia do Voleibol on the site Psicologia no Esporte, written by Rodrigo Scialfa Falcão and published on September 21st, 2023. You'll find the full URL in the video description if you'd like to explore the topic further. All right, I'm off now.